So welcome to your first lesson in which I am not here, and you are going to learn to outline like a rock star. Now I know a lot of you guys hear me say the word outline and you say, oh, you know, I don't do outlines, Mrs. K. I don't need an outline. I just sit down and start typing my paper, and that's fair enough. But let me ask you this. If you're going across the country, let's say that you want to go to California, okay? Are you going to get into your car and just start driving? Okay, let me ask you this. Would that be wise? Would it be wise to do that? Okay. Remember, I said would it be wise? All right. So think of this as a way to keep you from getting lost. Okay. You need to think of your outline as like your road map or your GPS. Okay. It's a way of getting to your end place. So go ahead and start now by getting out a clean sheet of paper. And I'll give you a second to do that. And remember, at any point in time, if you'd like to, you can pause this video and complete the required tasks. You're going to label this piece of paper your outline, and you're going to put your MLA heading in the upper left-hand corner. That's your name, my name, 10th grade lit and comp, and today's date, all funny like. All right, after you've labeled your paper, you need to start with your first paragraph. And your first paragraph to every paper is always your intro, okay? So you're going to put the Roman numeral 1, which is just an uppercase times New Roman I, at the far left side of your paper. It's going to be next to the pink vertical line. Write the word introduction next to it. Now go underneath that on the next line and write A. This is your very first paragraph, and your A is going to be your hook, okay? So next to the letter A, you're going to write hook. This needs to be a sentence, but for now you're not going to worry about this. And I want you to think for a moment, how are you going to get your audience into your paper? Are you going to use a scenario? Are you going to use rhetorical questions? A quote maybe? What are you going to do? Okay? But for now, just write the word hook and skip a line. Tonight for homework, you're going to write this as a complete sentence, right? And remember, an outline is detailed. Don't use bullet points. Don't use vague terminology. You need to be detailed. It needs to be complete sentences. I mean, can you imagine for a moment that if you're driving to California and you've typed in your address and the GPS suddenly goes, oh, well, I guess maybe, I don't know, turn somewhere around there, or maybe make a U-turn. I don't know, right? So you need to make sure that it's very specific. Underneath A, you're going to write the letter B. Okay, this is going to be the second set of sentences, and this is going to be the outlook for your paper. This is going to give your audience some clue as to where you're going. Okay, think of this as sort of the address of your destination. Okay, now you should already have some idea of where you're going because you did a topic proposal. Okay, all right, so you can do A, and I know this looks very intimidating, but don't worry, you're just writing the stuff in red. You can do A as your hook, and you're going to finish that in tonight. So an example might be, how many times has the word martyr been used in society today? Okay. B is going to be background. So go ahead underneath the A and write B dot background, colon. Okay. And again, you're going to fill this in tonight. Now, my example for B dot background is martyrs are known throughout history in the forms of saints, political figures, and military figures. And notice underneath that, I've got some subpoints. That means I'm going to qualify and quantify my terms. Okay. How am I going to do that? Well, I've chosen to do it by doing history, term now, term change, society view now. Okay, this is a literary analysis / sociological paper, so this is how I'm choosing to do it. This is how I strongly suggest you do it. It will behoove you or be in your best interest to do that. Okay, so take a look at number 1, history, colon, 2, term now, 3, term change, 4, society view now. You need to write those things in red now. So underneath your B, write 1, history, 2, term now, 3, term change, 4, society view now. And feel free to pause the video as you decide to do that. It'll probably take you about a couple of minutes. Okay, so the example that I've got basically says, 1, the history, martyrs are in history as St. Padre, political figures and military figures. The term martyr has become iconic and loosely tied to anyone who sacrifices him or herself, not just as a life, but as someone with time and family. 3, the term change, some even say that they are able to, quote, martyr themselves. Notice that the punctuation is inside the quotation marks, which has become a negative connotation. And then 4, society view now. Society's rules and roles for martyrs have changed, and I apologize for that grammar error there I just noticed, because now martyrs are the everyday people who sacrifice themselves as individuals, such as nurses, military personnel, and there's another typo, and teachers. Okay, so we're still in paragraph 1. And again, at any point in time, if you need to, you can pause this. I'm actually going to stop the recording now, just to break this up a little bit. But you need to take a look at your paper. Please review and make sure that it's following along these guidelines. The next thing that we're going to take a look at in the next video is your thesis statement.